Today is my week 12 and week 13 pregnancy update. It's all out in the open, everybody knows. Woo! I've got something going on down here. Yeah, and I'm sorry, all my pregnancy videos, I just uploaded them all one after another just because I started filming at 5 weeks, and obviously last week we found out everything was okay with the scan, yay. So I just wanted to let them into the world, and now it will just be one a week, I promise. So I'm condensing week 12, which was last week, and 13 into one video, and then next week will just be from like week 14 onwards. But yeah, it's all exciting. So last week on Tuesday, so that was the 26th of February, calm down camera, I went and had a scan at the hospital. Ben's parents came and looked after the girls, and yeah, I went and had a scan and saw a consultant, and here is the scan picture. So you can sort of see you've got head, nose, little belly and some feet up there. Baby was measuring spot on. Went to the hospital, had the scan. The sonographer was really nice, had a look, did all the measurements, said everything looks okay with baby. I also met my consultant, which I've never had to do before. I was consultant led with Aria because Mika was an emergency C-section, and I was an elective C-section. However, I never actually met my consultant when I was pregnant with Aria at all until after she was born. I think I met him for the first time. But this time I went for the scan, did all that, saw the sonographer, then had to come back out, and then we went into this other room, and the consultant came in and just asked some questions. She asked if I wanted another C-section, and I said I did, and she said they're happy with that because after 2 sections they generally advise you not to go for a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after cesarean, if you didn't know. And I never wanted one of those. It just, after my labour with Mika, I didn't ever want to have to go through that again. And then I still ended up having to go through it again with Aria, even though she was an elective section. But I'll talk about that another time. So I said, no, I definitely want a C-section. She said, that's fine. And then she kind of threw me a bit because she said, you need to think about whether you want to be sterilised during the section. And I was like, whoa. And it's not something I'm going to do. I don't want to do that. If this is our last baby, which I think it probably will be, Ben will probably look into having the snip. I don't really know why I don't want to be sterilised, but it just didn't, it really took me back, and I sort of texted my best friend and I was like, she mentioned sterilisation, and her instant reaction, like straight away, was just no. And which is how I felt instantly. I was just like, no, that's not happening. But I really wasn't expecting that kind of just so matter-of-factly to be thrown into the conversation. But she said, I don't have to make a decision yet. She said about 28 weeks I'll have to make a decision. They looked over my pregnancy notes and decided that because Aria was £5.9 when she was born, Aria was born at 36 weeks and 6 days, so she was just over 3 weeks early. They decided that because she was so small, I need to have extra growth scans to make sure everything's okay. So my next scan is in April at 20 weeks, and then I've got another one at 28 weeks, then another one at 32 weeks, and then another one at 36 weeks. My C-section would be scheduled for a week before the baby is due. I'm not putting my due date out there, and not the exact date, but it is September, so early September. And I'm sure if someone really wanted to, they could work it out. But yeah, so if it's anything like Aria, then it'll probably end up being an August baby, because as I said, she was early, and because my labour started on its own. Mika was 2 weeks early, Aria was 3 weeks and 6 days early. So we'll see. So it was a really, really good experience. I will quickly tell you off the Baby Centre website what it says. Baby is about 2.1 inches long from head to bottom, size of a lime, weighs up to 14 grams. Skeleton is made of firm tissue called cartilage, which will now begin to develop into bone. Hardening process takes a long time. In fact, her bones won't be fully developed until she's in her 20s. Baby is starting to look more human every day. Eyes have started to move closer together and tiny earlobes are taking shape. They're gaining some skills that they'll need after they're born. She can close her tiny fingers to make a fist now. Your baby's reflexes are becoming more honed. She'll wriggle a little if you prod your belly. You won't feel movements yet, but you may see her fidgeting when you have your dating scan. The baby was really active during the scan, which was nice, and it was the best picture we've had because I'm a bit fat, the sonographer sort of said not everyone's body reacts well to being scanned. Like some people just don't, you just can't scan them very well and get a really good picture. Like some people's pictures are really, really clear. Mine have always been quite blurry. And the sonographer was quite young and quite stern, and Ben was like, are you saying she's dense? And I was like pissing myself laughing, and then I said, oh, it's because I'm made of dark matter, and he just wasn't laughing at all, but we thought it was hilarious. He didn't think we were funny. So that was week 12. We got another sickness bug last week, would you believe it? Mika and Aria got a sickness bug, and then I got it too. But and it was so bad it just stopped my medicine from working, because my cyclizine, I'd had like a whole week of feeling really good, but the sickness bug just kicked the arse of the medicine and just stopped it working. However, touch wood, since Sunday I felt really, really good. I've been tidying, not that you can tell in this room hasn't been done, but I've been tidying, I've been doing the washing, I've been playing with the girls, and just generally feeling more human, which is amazing. So I don't know if it's just because I'm getting further along, or just the medicine is now like fully in my system. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm really, really happy. So that was week 12. Haven't been as tired either, which has been really nice. Week 13, which is this week, is the baby is now about 2.9 inches long. And weighs 23 grams, about the length of a pea pod. What's that? About that. 2.9 inches? Yeah, that's about right. About right? Yeah. The head makes up a third of the body length. This week, the part of the brain responsible for complex thoughts, such as problem solving and memory, starts to form. Tiny fingerprints unique to the baby are forming on the fingertips, but won't be developed until they're about 17 weeks old. 17 weeks. They can sometimes even suck their thumb at this stage. Your baby is beginning to swallow amniotic fluid. They showed me on the scan like the baby swallowing the fluid. It's mostly water, and it also contains nutrients that your baby absorbs, including carbohydrates, protein, glucose and electrolytes. Any remaining fluid is turned into urine by his kidneys, which will wee back into the amniotic fluid. If your baby is a boy, his testicles have now formed and his penis is growing. If you're having a girl, her ovaries have finished developing and will contain about 2 million eggs. That blows my mind that that's happening already. That's crazy. So this week, on, what day was it? I want to say on just before 13 weeks, I could feel like tiny bubbles, like really low, like not in my stomach, like lower, really, really low, if I really concentrate on them. And I think because you kind of know what you're feeling now and what you're like feeling for, whereas with your first, you kind of think, is that a fart? But I'm sure this is like baby moving. It's not like discernible movements or anything yet, but just a feeling of movement. It's really weird. What else was I going to tell you this week? I've been able to eat, which is really nice. I had a steak on Sunday, which was bloody lovely. I was a bit gutted because I had to have it I had it medium well. You're supposed to have it well done, but I had it medium well, so it's like the tiniest bit pink, but it was so good. Back to only drinking fizzy water. Anything else just doesn't work. I'll be back in a second. Sorry, child with a poo. The only other thing, on the day of the scan, I had the screening done for Down syndrome, Edwards and Patel. Is it Patel? I think that's how you say it. Which they do, they used to, when I was pregnant with Aria, they used to just do, with your scan, they'd screen for Downs. However, it's a new thing they do where they screen for all 3, and then you also have a blood test. Oh, I've just run up the stairs and I'm knackered. This is another symptom. Shortness of breath. And you get a letter like within a few days. And I think with the girls, I had like a 1 in 50,000 chance of Downs. This time it's come back as 1 in 84,000, like 300 and something. So that's for Downs. And then Edwards, I think, is like 1 in like 100,000 or something. So really, really low odds of anything like that being wrong with the baby, which is really nice. Kind of took a bit of a weight off my mind, because I think that was playing on my mind being an older mum, because it's more common if you are older. It's not a common thing at all, obviously. It's a very low chance of it happening, but it's more common the older you get, and I am obviously an older mum. So yeah, that was weeks 12 and 13. Oh, belly. So let me move my camera. So I feel like it's popped a little bit, but yeah, it's still mostly C-section overhang. But I can feel now, like if I press on my stomach, I can feel, you can feel like where your uterus is, because obviously it gets high. I think it's called like fundal height. Is it right? Is it fundal height? That doesn't sound right, but I'm sure that is. And then when you get past 16 weeks, you have to lay on a couch at the midwife, and they measure, they feel your belly, and they measure your belly to see if it corresponds with weeks and centimeters, I think. So yeah, that was the update. And I'm gonna go and tidy up all this crap behind me that I've unboxed today. Yeah, if you like these videos, please do give this one a thumbs up. If you are pregnant, please let me know how far along you are, or if you're trying for a baby, any kind of baby related stuff, let me know in the comments, because it's really lovely to hear all of everyone's stories of people that are due really soon or due sort of similar time to me. It's really nice to hear and to chat to people. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up. You should definitely subscribe to my channel for more fun stuff to come. Hopefully in a few months there'll be a baby. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye guys.